It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Vault City, and this is a can of their Gingerbread Latte Imperial Stout. Now, some of you might know, I'm not the greatest fan of Vault City. I don't understand all of their kind of modern sours. I think they're just fruited, smoothie style alcoholic drinks. In fact, my biggest comment when I review a Vault City beer is I could buy a bottle of cheap vodka and chuck it in a carton of smoothie and have something of the same effect but for far cheaper. That's the biggest comment I get from these modern sour beers from Vault City. But, not to be overly negative, I actually picked this up from the supermarket, from Tesco, and I actually smiled and thought, I might like this one. I might like this. This has a lot of promise. I love ginger in beer. I love ginger in stouts and imperial stouts. I really love the bitterness of imperial stout, and this just seems to work. Everything about this can for me seems right. It seems, well, pretty fantastic actually. So I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty fantastic beer at 11% ABV. It's in a 330 milliliter kind of Red Bull style can. Cost me £5.50 if you want to buy this on its own, but I had it on a 4 for 3 deal. So as a 4 for 3 deal, it actually, I had £1.17 knocked off it. So it come in at £4.33, £4.33 if my maths are correct. Some of you might even be looking at this thinking, for a 330 milliliter can, £4.33, it's still expensive. The only way we're going to find out if it was worth it is by getting it out into a glass and seeing what we get. So I'm actually hoping here for Vault City's big, thick, gloopy style beers in this. I'm hoping it's going to be big and fat and creamy and rich. We got a very small, thin, tan coloured head. It's probably a quarter finger. In fact, it's dissipated right away now. A little bit of carbonation. Can conditioned beer, there's a little bit of sediment here in the bottom of the glass. In fact, there's quite a bit of sediment. Jet black beer in the glass. It's probably about 8 degrees, 9 degrees. I got it out the fridge about an hour ago. Aroma. Oh, now then. This smells Scandinavian. Yeah, a bit roasty, bit toasty. Gingerbread, ginger. A little bit of sweetness. Ooh. Oh yes, this definitely has promise. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Why? It had so much promise. So much promise. I was kind of like, come on, this is going to be great, Vault City. You can do it. You can do it, Vault City. That was like having a mouthful of concentrated sugar. Do you know when sugar burns your mouth? When there's that much sugar in something, it's actually burning your mouth. It's burning your insides. It's not that 11% alcohol doing that. That is the most syrupy, sweet Imperial Stout that I've ever tried. Ever in the history of me drinking Imperial Stouts. That's like saying, nobody likes the bitterness of Imperial Stout. We must chuck a ton of sugar in there, a ton of sweetener in there to take away all of that lovely bitterness that people might like. And we'll give you some like Greg's Gingerbread Man ginger flavour. And that's it. And that's it. The promise of this beer, the promise of this beer was there. Why do these breweries insist, as soon as they hit the supermarket, to throw a ton of sweetener in their beer, a ton of sweeteners, and make it all sweety, and why are they trying to capture a market that they're never going to capture? Just admit it. Just admit it. Northern Monk with your silly Million Sweeties beer. Watermelon Millions beer, which was atrocious and blue and green, like poured it down the sink. And the Zombie Death, the chocolate and strawberry Imperial Stout that was 8.4% ABV, and it was strawberry and tasted like strawberry ice cream and Angel Delight. And now this. I saved this till last. It's Monday and I want to pull my eyes out. Sundays on the channel, I just have 4 beers that I choose to review, and it's like the worst. I'd rather bump blocks on a building site. No disrespect to people that bump blocks on a building site. I've been on a building site for a number of years, and I'm just saying I'd rather be there now, bumping blocks up a staircase or carrying a fire door up a staircase than reviewing this. This is painful now. This is getting like, it's getting to the point now where supermarkets launch beers and I sigh and I go ugh. And I buy them because, well, thankfully, I'm looking around, I'm thinking, have I got any more? I think that's it. Woohoo! So let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the fact that as of end of September 2024, I've reviewed all of the Sainsbury's beers, and as of the 7th day of October, I've just finished reviewing the last of the Tesco beers. And let's hope that Morrison's and Asda don't bother, and Lidl don't bother, and none of the others bother, because the beer's atrocious. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, where I can review this Czech dark lager that's going to taste like real beer, and I'm going to review this Weizenbock that is probably going to taste like real beer, and just a little bit of normality, please. I think supermarket beer is doomed. I think it's absolutely doomed. I've had one mouthful of this. I was really looking forward to it. Proper Imperial Stout. Let's do things properly. No, let's bang a ton of sweetener in it. And that just makes me so angry. So angry. That is atrocious. That is absolutely atrocious. If you love sweet things, you're probably going to like this. You're going to probably be like, oh, that's soup, that's lovely, that's brilliant. Me, I cannot stand sweet stuff. It's why I drink bitter beer. I don't drink beer for it to be overly sweet. I'd be down the sweet aisle, wouldn't I? Buying ice cream and... I drink beer for the bitterness. I eat Brussels sprouts for the bitterness. I eat cabbage slightly undercooked for its bitterness. I appreciate bitterness. Everything's got to be sweet, haven't it? Everything's got to be like close to silly. Close to silly these days. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 for this stupid beer. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.